You don't care at all. As in the Bible, man has dominion over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. But how far does that dominion actually go? Most people in this day and age have pushed it to the limit by treating animals with unequal and inhumane behaviors for the sake of pleasure and nutrition. Animals should not have to answer to the demands of the world in the way that they do. Therefore, all mankind becoming vegetarian would be a positive solution to the increasing issue of animals being slaughtered. The first report of an animal killed was by God to cover Adam and Eve's sin. Thus, if there was not sin, we would not eat meat. And even though God was the one who killed the animal, he did it in result of a negative force. If humans were actually supposed to eat meat, then God would have made Adam and Eve carnivores to begin with. But humans are not made to eat meat. We lack the claws, the small intestinal tract, the acid saliva, and the acid in our stomachs to digest the meat. The majority of Americans buy meat instead of hunting and butchering it themselves. However, if a person is not going to stop eating meat, they should take it into their own hands to kill the animals. An animal still dies, but by a person doing it themselves, they are taking a stand against the way slaughterhouses treat animals before and during the murder. And no one is too busy to do so, because there are weekends and reliable farmers. Moreover, if a person spends a majority of their life killing animals through hunting, fishing, etc., it can be hazardous to their mental health. They can develop a thrill through making themselves feel superior during the death of an innocent creature. And this thrill could ultimately result in the murder of a human and maybe even cannibalism. When people hear that I'm a vegetarian, their jaw drops because they think the switch is extreme and they can't imagine their life without a juicy cheeseburger. Although, if a person cares enough for animals and has control over their conscience, they can easily eliminate meat from their diet. Yes, it takes work, but most choices in life do, and this choice is saving a blameless animal's life, so it's totally worth it. Through deciding to become a vegetarian, a person's diet becomes much healthier. Not only is there more fat and more calories in meat, but when more fat is present, there is a greater risk of chronic disease. Meat products are also high in saturated fat and cholesterol, which can lead to cancer, just as processed and red meat can. In addition, you don't always have the knowledge of what's exactly in the meat, and being vegetarian lowers your weight and body mass index. I know there's a long list of vitamins and minerals that are in meat products that humans need, but with the right analysis, you can find them in other products. Even though each animal is unique, they are all parallel. So just because you can't really connect with a cow like you can a dog, doesn't mean the animal isn't beneficial and you should just eat it. Animals have the right to live just as humans do. I'm not saying animals and humans are equal, but I am saying they have a purpose through being the type of animal they are to live, because each animal benefits the environment in some way, and it should not be through providing their life for food. When people eat animal flesh, all their mind goes to is what's in front of them, instead of what's behind the meat, like the animal in the slaughterhouse. The approach slaughterhouses have on handling things can cause extreme environmental issues. For instance, the inedible parts of animals are starting to be improperly disposed of because of high cost and restrictions. Even managing animal carcasses is becoming a burden. A result of the fact that 40% of an animal cannot be consumed, the bacteria in slaughterhouses is rising. Increasing the amount of vegetarians would improve things in the world and in people's lives. Animals do not exist for humans to mutilate and push around, but to complete their unique purpose they have through being the type of animal they are. And being vegetarian not only benefits the animals, but the environment, people's mental health, and physical well-being. As humans, we have a major impact on almost everything, especially animals. So the next time you can choose what to eat, Think about how it got on your plate and allow that to guide your decision.